Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode, we have got the opening game of the season against PSG, and that is at home. If you want to go and check out what happened in the World Cup, I'm going to give you a second before I spoil anything. It was last episode. The reason why we're here not on the opening day and recapping transfers and getting into it is because we do have some international clubs, or international teams I should say, that want me in charge of their nation. So, without further ado, we've got three teams here. We have Brazil, who got knocked out in the third round like ourselves. We have Argentina, who got knocked out in the quarterfinal. And we do have Italy that got knocked out also in the third round, I do believe. We go to the World Cup here. Quarterfinal to Spain. So there we go. If you have a look at the quarterfinals, or you have a look at us in the third round there, Spain is the holders after beating Portugal in extra time. If you have a look here in the third round where we got knocked out, you can see Germany beat Belgium. Italy won an extra time against England, so the England job's available. I could actually delay, try and get the England job, which would be awesome. Netherlands obviously FM me. Argentina did win. Portugal beat Brazil in a big one, as you can see here. Argentina then made it through to Turkey, and even though Argentina made the semi-final, they got slapped by Spain and they lost the third place playoff to Germany, which means that their job became available. So three teams, a team that finished third, two outside of Europe, which would actually be pretty cool in the same to go, well, actually, we completed Glory Hunts in terms of the Euros. Why not go and try and win the Copa America? I've never managed to win the Copa America, so I'm leaning towards the South American thing. But in saying that, Argentina want to give me 5.5k a week, where Brazil are giving me 15. Italy, where I am of a descendant from, I am a Damiano, I am from the south of Italy, is where my family's from. Yeah, the Italian side's not bad, and obviously the guy at Napoli, who is this world class, is the guy that got us through everything. So, you know, if they've got players like this, it's probably worth having a look at the Italian national team. So if you have a look at the Italian national team, they have a lot of guys that are 22 through to 28 and 29. Got to think, we're thinking World Cup, so 4 years from now, when everybody 28 is going to be 32, there's a handful of guys like Tonali, etc., Mose Keane. They're probably not going to be around for the next World Cup. Donnarumma is 31, so you're probably going to have one of the best keepers still around in 4 years' time. But he's not too bad, and you know there's maybe a transitional phase approaching here in the World Cup. As you can see, that's how they kind of picked up with Matt Carroll not up top, because they used Piccoli up top. I can understand. Dennis Udogie's still probably going to be kicking around in the World Cup. And Colley, who he took in at West Ham, maybe kicking around. But there we are. We have to have a look at the other 21s and just see if there's anyone of note coming through. There's an 18-year-old here with a big amount of money that looks okay at Juve. But yeah, it's one of those ones that the squad itself looks not too bad. Okay. Now, if we were to look at Argentina, for 5.5k, I just want to outright reject, because why would you go? Secondly, have a look at the age, right? Not too bad here, 27's in there. It's not many players. They have got a lot of players, 29 plus, that are going to be 33 or older at the next World Cup. A lot of the guys are going to be 36. A large makeup of their team is going to be 36 at the World Cup. I think straight off the bat, no real money that they're going to give me, and the fact that a lot of their side is getting older and not getting better leads me to going, well, sorry, Argentina, I don't think we're going to go there. Which then leads into Brazil, and I really think Brazil would be great, because they've kind of fallen away in their standings. They've fallen all the way to 7th in the world. They're struggling at the minute. They haven't really done anything of late. You know, if you have a look through the years, you got World Cup qualifying, Copa America, they lost in the quarter-final of the Copa America and struggled in the group. So straight away you're going, well, Brazil are having a tough time. It'd be nice to go and try and get them out of here. Secondly, have a look how many people are below 28. Quite a lot. A lot of 20-year-olds that are going to be in very, very good development phases as well, with some world-class players. There's also a lot of 29-year-olds there which could probably make the World Cup, and only a handful of 30-year-olds. But one thing I will say about this, and if you have a look, if you sort it by, maybe position, Edison's probably not going to be in the game by that stage. And I think Alisson's already retired from international duty as of the World Cup, because he was in the squad. And straight off the bat, you're going, oh, okay, maybe they don't have a keeper. But I would imagine there will be Brazilians coming through at some sort of level somewhere along the line. So with that being said, I think our first thing we're going to do is we're going to accept the Brazilian job. There we go. And we're going to see what happens. They reckon we're going to play a 4-3-3. Sergio we get the link up with again, which is nice. We will do that. There we go. We get the Brazil and the expectations are all fine. And well, we're Brazilian manager with the eye of winning the World Cup. And I think that's going to be pretty awesome and interesting as well, which is pretty cool. Now, straight away, I'm going to go into the national pool. And I want to just have a look by people that are really ready to go. So there's a 17-year-old here who's a bit of a ringer that's apparently got potential. This is also another reason why we do it, because we can see wonder kids like this guy we're going to scout and, maybe look to pick up. There's an inverted called Yontas who's at Real Madrid who looks outrageous. There's a striker who's at 20s at Arsenal that looks outrageous. So straight away we're looking, okay, who's around? Rodrigo's only been capped twice. He's a centre-back. See what I mean? So we're going to go through and really have a look. Junior's another one at Liverpool. There's another one. There's a 16-year-old that's just come out that we'll keep tabs on. He looks outrageously good, Humberto. Also Italian. I wonder if he can actually move. Next, Jarzinho. Straight away, I think we made a very, 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 very good choice. Felipe Anderson's at Juve. Yeah, I think we made a really good choice. There's a 22-year-old there. Victor Roco's only 25. We've used him. Marcus the under is only 27. He'll be around in the World Cup. So with that being said, I reckon we've got a really, really, really good team that what we can do here, which is fantastic. So without further ado, that's the World Cup side. He's at West Ham now. Jeez, Angelo's at only 25. Edison's obviously whatever. Obviously, we probably need to see a keeper come on this list at some stage. Doesn't look like we have a keeper that's really coming through at the moment, which would be nice. But that's Brazil. We'll pick our first squad in due course. But the first part of the episode, before we play PSG and recap the signings here, is we have signed with Brazil, and that will be our new team that we're going to look to win the World Cup within 4 years' time. But it probably means we have to have a very successful Copa America. And hey, who knows? Maybe we can just win a South American competition as well. Welcome back, YouTube. We have got the opening day of the season. We got PSG in what is, I know, a massive 6-pointer to start the season. We're at home. We lost this game last year. If we won this game last year, we probably would have went on to win the league. Now, without further ado, let's go recap the pre-season, and then we can have a look at what the team looks like, because we have spent money and sold players as well. Pre-season went swimmingly. We actually played PSG already twice. Mbappe and the testimony, they kind of like fully rotated, so don't read too much into that. However, I am going to show you a goal, and his name is Soler, and well, even though it's pre-season, we already have goal of the year, because this is like Thierry Henry-esque when he flicks it up to himself. Just have a look at the flick up. It is unbelievable. Flicks it up and then volleys it into the top bin. Oh, so nice. What a goal there too. We then played him in the Trophy the Champions, and I will happily put my hand up and said, I'll rage quit it. And then I came back, it was 2-2. So I've gone, we're 2-0 up, down. I was like, we're going to get pumped here. So I walked out the room, come back into the room, it's half time, it's 2-2. Yeah, nice. I then, watching the game a little bit, I'm like, I'm going to make a coffee and I'll be back in a second. Go to make said coffee. I come back in as the 89th minute. I've failed to make a change, and we've scored 2 more goals. 3 more goals or whatever it is. Yeah. Might have been 3-2 when I walked back in the room. It was 3-2 at halftime. Anyhow, I walked into the room, next minute I was 2-0 up, 2-0 down and 3-2 up, and then I walked back in the room and we won the game. So, it was pretty easy in the end. So I'm waiting to, where you're sitting in the memes around fire. I think I've poked the bear before the season's actually started, and I actually think we're in danger of getting slapped. So we'll wait and see what happens. Does mean that down here in the Trophy the Champions, we have listed down there at 2030. Now let's have a look at what we've done transfer-wise. We're going to go season preview. They're still predicting us to play 4-3-3. You will see definitely some new names in that side. And look, the game has everything pretty much nailed on, and that's starting 11 bar one position, and that's Quinton Timber. Because I have bought a centre-back, and I do not understand why he's not there. We do have a new hot prospect. I don't know who you are, but you're 15 and you're doing very well. So there you are. If we have a look in the team of the season there, what our new midfielder signing in Diambu, who's just too good, that I wasn't planning on signing another midfielder, and we did. He's coming into there. Surprised Yuri Tielemans doesn't get in as well. because you guys know that we've signed him. All right, so let's go and have a look here. We're going to go buy on the outs straight away. Ango Stilly was one of my buying and it funded the rest of my moves. So we actually got money that if a big name striker comes available, I do have 81 million to go you up front. Andreas Skovolson for 23, David Rum for 13, Victor Nelson Saar, and Chema Vasic all went for more than 2.5 mil plus. I am going to go back to the end of last season and go and filter it by so you guys know who's coming in. So one, Camilo Arastobal, you guys know is coming. He's coming in to play the shadow striker role in when we're playing 4-2-3-1 and to play the advanced playmaker on attack role when in the 4-3-3. Looks incredible. Apparently 3.5 star if you play him in his right role, but has the world-class potential. I think this Colombian is going to be next level, and if we don't win the league this year, we'll probably win it next year on the back of him being so good. So there's one signing. The other one there as well, if we go back like this, is Yuri Tielemans. Brought him in for the fact that he can play deep line playmaker in this defence role in the 4-3-3. It doesn't have to move, sit in, win the ball, pick off passes, off you go, and obviously can play in that said role as well in the 4-2-3-1, which is great. And then Mamadi Diembu, who gets into the starting 11, is just class. I have moved to a Segundo Volante because he fits him so well, so it uses that marking and that tackling and that passing, but you can see why this guy is unbelievable. The Malian international has physically a monster, mentally switched on, can tackle, can pass, and has got great technique and a great first touch. Has come from Salzburg to Al Nassr where he's gone and killed it, and he comes straight into my team, and I paid 15-something million. So in the end, if you look at the top three that we did, Arastobal for 37, Tielemans for 5 to 6 mil, whatever it comes in, and 12.5 mil all up front for Mahami Diambu, and well, you can kind of see why we made sales. It didn't stop there though, we kept making more sales. Signings I should say. We needed a left back. I was too scared to go sign the civilian left back at the time because I was still worrying that we needed a winger. But the form of Roman and Soler in pre-season, the fact they have done the business against PSG already, I've kind of gone down the route, I don't really need to buy anybody else, but we might. So I went for Becker, who was a bit of a cheaper option, who's a bit more of a German international. It's probably a bit more of a boring pick because we could have gone with the civilian French left back. Also think after resigning as French manager, am I really going to go and invest time in another French regen? I could for the goodness of the save and trying to win it here with Monaco, but at the same time, might leave him at Sevilla because he might end up staying there and we might end up at Sevilla in Spain. So made an educated decision to go that way. Kim Min Jan, I felt like we need another centre-back, especially for these bigger games, to go out there and just be an absolute rock. Even though he's 33, 17 headering, 15 marking, 17 tackling, great determination, great positioning, and is physically a monster, and is 6'3", got 2 experienced centre-backs that are of a very good level in NL and him, and I think against PSG it would be very, very handy. And lucky last, this one has been signed because I have gone to Brazil as a Brazilian manager, is Ramirez Beleza. If you have a look at him, he's one of the players that on the national pool for Brazil has got a 5-star rating. So I was like, hey, he's got 5 stars, I'm going to have a look. Physically a monster, 20 natural flair, and a lot of 13s and 14s at the age of 20. Feet coming from Brazil to come play for me. He's going to play a lot of minutes in off the bench and play a lot of minutes probably starting in games when Petrunia's not doing well. I have no issues in this guy being in and around the squad, and I really do think that in 4 years' time, mark my words, this guy is going to be in our starting 11 at the World Cup. So there we are. I'm very, very happy. Now, we got the opening day against PSG. So here is your team. We are going to, as I've mentioned, 4-3-3 for the big games and for those tougher games in the league where, you know, might be going away to FC Nantes who are third in the division, stuff like that. And then in the games where we should be dominating, 4-2-3-1, really go at teams, try and go 2-3 goals up early before switching into the 4-3-3. So, Markovic is in net. I am actually going to move him in as a sweeper keeper there on defend. Vanderson, Anel, Kim Min-jan, and Becker. Yuri Tielemans in the hole making his debut in the league, of course. Diambu and Aristobal as well. But Tunian is advanced playmaker and support role, by the way, is exceptional. He drops in, he finds space, and he slips Soler in a lot. And Roman Galbert as well on the other side. These two have been fantastic in pre-season, absolutely blitzing teams. I'm going to just give them a go, even though I've got 81 mil to spend. And if I don't think things are going as well as they should, I can at least spend the 81 mil in January, of course, as well. Now, this is a side we just beat in the cup, but I will say PSG did line up, you know, slightly-ish, maybe I think they could look. It's PSG. I think they could line up different. I'll honestly go out here and say PSG should be playing a different system, but they did win the league last year. Look, it's a pretty good team there. It's a pretty similar back four that you guys know that we've been facing. To just signed Giovanni Reina, so he's out there too. Mbappe is up front with Moukoko instead of playing out on the left, which is a good thing for them, and saves us probably going down that road as well. Now, in the friendly that we did beat them in 3-0, I will say apart from Mbappe, they fully rotated. They had Lino starting, they had Kimpembe starting, Dragowski was in goal, Marios was in there, Felix Gaubert, who I maybe nearly picked for my French guy, Dennis Pobeghi, who's an Italian, has been capped a couple of times that we picked up in AC and then sold on. So, yeah, they were all starting that friendly. So I disregard the friendlies a 3-0 win. I just say that PSG just rolled over. And, look, I think we woke the beast up in the Trophy de Champions, so it'll be interesting to see what goes on here. Anyway, away we go. Soler picks the ball up early. This is a game that you feel like we kind of got to do well in. Wow. Of all the ways they concede, Kim Min-jae wins a tackle, kicks it into the guy next to him at full back to Mbappe, and it's 1-0. That's fun. It's PSG. They don't need any luck like this football. And have a look at this. Kim Min-jae wins it and then kicks it into Becker. So the two new signings run into each other's way and goal. 1-0 down. Harsh. Very harsh. Ball towards Gaubert. Doesn't find him. Ball goes long now. Only as far as Kim Min-jae, though, sweeps up very well. We got options through the middle. Yuri Tielemans dropping in nicely. Becker now finds Mbappe instead. That ball should have been fired into Diambu a lot earlier. And Giovanni Reina, Moukoko hits, blocked, falls to Markovic. Yet again, we had space there, and I know that we gave the ball away, but if that ball's gone into Diambu earlier, we are out and facing forward and looking good. First 10 minutes here, feel like we sluck a little bit of luck, but there's Diambu, and see what I mean? As soon as he's on the ball, he's got vision, and he can see games and things that people don't. Vanderson gets in the area, went for goal where he should have cut it. Donnarumma made a great save. We're offside in the rebound of that as well. Good play from Diambu with the switch. Really low. Should have been a different option. Vitina, Nuno Mendes, Declan Rice, Romero, Hakimi. Can he cut it? Doesn't. This is where we need to win. Aristobal gets pulled back. Nothing from the referee. Won the ball and Hakimi dragged him back. Everything going PSG's way, as it generally does in Football Manager. Moukoko looked offside. Apparently not given. Becker heads away. And well done by Batrunya. Diambu, oh, what a ball. Soler's in here. He has to score. I know Donnarumma's great. He goes so wide. He's one-on-one and goes, oh, I'm just going to go run away from goal. That is so silly. 1-0 down, and we've played pretty well, to be fair. Can't believe Soler ran away from goals. Time ticks. Don't deserve to be losing, I don't think. But here we are, 1-0 down to PSG. Their goal was absolutely lucky, and then since then, it's been very even. And we really should have scored with Soler there. Anyway, Mbappe loses out. Always nice to say that. Min-jae, Becker, Gaubert dropping in nicely. Drives past a few, has options, but Trunya dropping into the space, allows Vanderson to get further forward. He can cut it. Decides against it. But Trunya cuts it. Aristobal in his debut. First goal of the season for Aristobal and Monaco, and it's a goal to get it level against PSG. 51 minutes in. I don't know why this year that players do that. They just whip it. Instead, eventually, Batrunya finds another bit of space. Great ball in, and Aristobal, who's playing the Roman Tisney role in this 4-3-3, scores. Declan Rice. Fatina. Aristobal's on him. Oh, it falls back to him. Our press has been really good here in the 4-3-3, has to be said. Ball towards Moukoko, though, and this is where they can be dangerous because PSG have got absolute abundance of players. There's a difference, though. Nuno Mendes, their fullback, gets to the byline and goes, oh yeah, Mbappe, yeah, front stick ball, yes, please, tap it in. Vanderson, I know we scored from the last one, could have done that to Soler, no ball, they turn around. I don't know what setting the AI has that allows for the fullbacks to cross that we don't have. It's not like Yeah, I don't have a playing instruction for them not to cross. So, very odd. Anyway, we've got time sticked away. But Tunu's been dealing with a knock, so he's about to come off here. And we are going to get Ramirez in as the inverted wing back there on support. And Roman Galbert looks dead, and I am going to bring in Pulisic as an inverted wing back on attack. Aristobal also looking dead, so we get Pablo Toure on for like. Vanderson for... I'm actually going to go Quinton Timber because we need to get a goal. We have had the better of the game, but we are the team that is 2-1 down. Declan Rice goes long looking for Mokoku and is going to find him. Interesting that Kim Min Jan forgot where the ball was. FM's just kind of scripted that this one we're going to lose, hasn't it? Pablo should pick that up. Got options. Apparently that was the highlight, so there you are. We're going to find a moment here. They've had 2 shots on target for 2 goals, PSG. I feel a little bit aggrieved. We'll go into it. New Zealand's will come off there for Emery as well. So there's going to be a moment late doors. There isn't. We're going to lose the opening day of the season to PSG. We lose 2-1 in a very even game. And you look at the statistics, you don't know how we've probably been beat. And you look at both the goals and you go, Mokoku's goal at the start is just lucky. This Kim Jan wins the ball and clears it into a left back that for whatever reason goes, oh, I better run in front of where the guy is who has the ball, which would never happen in real life. And for once, their fullbacks cross it. I don't have anything on my fullbacks that says don't cross the ball. In a game where, look, probably being a little bit harsh on PSG that they were rubbish, I didn't think they were that good. Didn't think PSG were that good. And if you have a look at the game, have a look at that. We've dominated majority of the game there against PSG, and they've scored in a moment where we're on top right after we've scored. There you go. You can't do much about that. That's a harsh one to take. That is very, very, very annoying. And this is kind of what happens in France. You have seasons where you're, oh, okay, we're not bad. Then you have seasons where we're better than PSG. And I feel like we're at that stage where I'm knocking on the door and say, hey, we're nearly better than you, right? But you just can't beat them because they are a bigger reputable club. And I have a big thing saying that on FM, that for the last few FMs, if your team has got less reputation than the other club, they get every slice of bit of luck. And it's stupid. But there we are. Last thing I'm going to do. Have I got something on my fullbacks to say don't cross the ball? Cross from byline? Cross from byline? Apparently he doesn't, but that's fine. It's because he's more defensively minded. You know, get to here. This is the byline's not crossing from here. This is still the byline. Crossing early would be from here. From here to there is basically the byline. Whip the ball. It's not hard. And you can't turn that off for like complete wing backs and stuff, by the way. But yeah, apparently we're not on the complete wing back, but you can't turn it off. It means cross from the byline. Cross more often. I'm going to cross more often and see what happens. And I'm going to do that in this as well. And put this on, and I'm going to go, alright, cross more often. Maybe that's a thing that you need to tick on to get these guys to start whipping balls into the area, because maybe that's what's needed. Maybe. I'm going to tick it on. Anyhow, that's that done. We are very unlucky, very unfortunate. Played very, very well. If we play how we just played against PSG for the remainder of the season, we should win 30 out of the 33 matches remaining. 32, mate. 33 matches, probably 28. We should win 28. If we win 28 games, we're going to be around the mark, probably fail. How many games did PSG win last year? Probably not as many, 26. Yeah, we're going to need 28 to 30 wins to win the league from 33 matches. France is hard. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, and goodbye.